women of our military and police force are no less important than the men. It is equally important that we thank them as well for our freedom and for our protection.
We can live the dream, we can be big, we gotta fly. We gotta live like giants. We can never stop, we gotta stand up. We can't be silent. Stand up, we live like giants. We gotta keep on climbing. We'll make it to the top. We gotta stand up. We can't be silent. Stand up, we live like giants.
There are 3 roads that lead to the same destination. There are 3 players seeking to achieve one goal. Why do I hunt? It's who I am.
Where do I find the passion? It's in my blood.
How do I keep going? It's what I live for.
We are the wildlifers.
I really can't even put into words what it means for me to have this opportunity to do this hunt for these women. I think as much as they get out of it, I get out of it.
Stephanie gets to go on some really cool hunts every year, but I don't think any of them excite her as much as this one does. It's just crazy how pumped she is to go and take these women hunting. She looks so forward to it that I don't think anybody quite understands just how much she enjoys taking these women to do something that they otherwise might not have an opportunity to do.
I enjoy the opportunity to take people who've never got to hunt before and take them hunting, to show them how fun this is and just being in nature and letting them experience this. Well, that's really better than going myself almost. I guess if there's one thing from doing this TV show, if I can just show other women that they can go hunting, well then I would call that a huge success for me.
You know, every year Stephanie does the antelope hunt and she gives back to the women, you know, whether she takes veterans or law enforcement. This is a hunt that is very meaningful to her. I mean, she loves to take these women, she loves to give something back to them, and she looks forward to it every year.
We're on our way to pick up our first female veteran hunter. I'm so excited to meet these ladies. This is just an awesome experience for me. Not gonna lie, it's been kind of cluster because the last few weeks we were on a bear hunt and then we came home and had a hurricane and a little unorganized for this trip, but the main thing, it's gonna happen. So, looking forward to it. I'm gonna get to meet women that I know are just amazing women to begin with, but it's kind of fun to meet somebody for the very first time and, you know, get in such close quarters in a truck and drive for 3 hours and get to know them. It's really a lot of fun.
I'm Ana Vasquez. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I heard about the hunt through a friend named Matt at work. He's a coworker. He asked if I was interested in hunting, and I said yes. And he told me that there was a hunt in New Mexico, and he's friends with Stephanie, and asked if I'd be interested. It was going to be a 3-day hunt, and right away I said, sign me up.
My name is Brianna Redwine. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm a police officer with the Dallas Police Department, and I've been on for 4 years. So I've never been hunting before. I was asked by a coworker, the same one who asked my friend Anna, and he said there was a really good company called Wildlifers, and Stephanie is just an amazing woman, and she wants to do something for law enforcement and military personnel to just give back to them. I said, okay, never been hunting, but I've always wanted to, I've always thought about it, so I thought it was a great opportunity.
Anna and Brianna are both very accomplished women. They have very stressful jobs, they've never really had the opportunity to hunt. They have family members that have hunted, but they've never had this opportunity themselves.
My name is Ashley Jackson. I'm active duty Air Force stationed out of Anchorage, Alaska, where I am a paramedic working in the ER as well as EMS services across the base. You know, I don't even own a hunting rifle. I have no idea what I'm doing whatsoever, but this is something I really want to do just to learn, you know, how to do it so that, you know, maybe one day that I can go out and do this on my own.
Ashley has never been on a hunt. She was offered this opportunity through Support U.S. Armed Forces, and she was very, very excited to have the opportunity. She needed a break from her job, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
My name is Angie King, and I'm from Washington State. I was active duty Army for 10 years with 21 months of deployment time to Iraq.
Angie King has actually been on a hunt. Her and her husband hunt, and she just has never had the opportunity to go on antelope hunt. Kia served her country for many years, and now she's in law enforcement, and she has a couple days off that she's gonna get to hunt with us as well. So this is amazing for each of the women.
Wildlifers is brought to you by Mellon Creek Outfitters, raising standards, not fences. Barnes Precision Machine, USA made with unmatched performance. Wise Eye Smart Feeders, feed the guest, zap the pest, shut out the rest. OnX Hunt, where the pavement ends, OnX begins. We are the Wildlifers. There is only one chance at a first impression. Arguably, the greater the challenge, the greater the reward. It is that sense of accomplishment that lights the fire within.
So everyone's getting settled into their place, and we're getting our guns loaded back up in the truck so we can go up to the shooting range and we can all shoot our guns and be prepared for the hunt. It's always a good idea if you've been traveling to go shoot your gun before you go on the hunt. But I think for us, it's a icebreaker. You know, it shows the guide kind of what the girl can do with their guns, because some of them have never been on a hunt and they need to feel comfortable with shooting weapon, and it serves both purposes. You know, it's a good thing for us, it's a good thing for them.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful. It's my first time in New Mexico, driving into this ranch. It's unbelievable. When I arrived, I met all the other people that are here on the hunt. Very friendly, lots of stories to go around. It really built up the excitement. So waking up at 5 a.m. didn't seem like a big deal to me anymore because I was just so excited. I'm not a morning person, so.
Well, the longer we're together, you know, we've drove through out to the ranch, we've gone to the range, we've shot our guns, and everyone's getting comfortable with everybody. And you're seeing the personality of these women, and this is just gonna be so much fun the next couple days. Well, our guns are all sighted in, everybody feels comfortable. We're gonna head back to camp, go have some good dinner, and get ready for the hunt tomorrow.
The minute that we got here at the ranch, like, people were there and they were helping us and kind of guiding us through the process. And then, you know, even just day one of the hunt, you know, just kind of walking through like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing today. This is how everything is going to happen. You know, just that step-by-step process, you know, them identifying the fact that, you know, I had no idea what I was doing and I needed help, and they were there every step of the way.
We just meshed right away. It was like we'd all known each other and just coming back to a big reunion. It was great.
Well, it's the first morning, the weather's perfect. We're all getting paired up with who's gonna hunt with who. Ashley and Angie are gonna go together with Rob. Anna and Kia are gonna go with Nick. And I get to go with Brianna, and we're gonna hunt with Chip. It's opening day of antelope season, and I know it's not gonna be long before somebody's gonna get an antelope on the ground. And what do you know? I get a text, and Rob's already found one for Ashley.
We got out on this antelope and, you know, snuck right up to the fence post and kind of set up. And he was laying down, didn't even know we were there. and just, you know, my heart's racing and I'm shaking and stuff, and, you know, just getting ready, like any moment this antelope's gonna stand up. And then sure enough, stood up long enough to like look, you know, kind of straight out where, you know, couldn't get a good shot. And just, you know, anxiety and stuff building and, you know, shaking and, you know, just waiting for him to turn broadside, never did, or if he did, it was just for like 2 seconds, laid right back down again. So then you're like, okay, you know, you calm down a little bit, and then just the anticipation again. And, you know, all together it was 45 minutes. We were sitting on this antelope waiting for it to stand up to get a good shot on it. Ended up standing up, but he was, you know, too far out. There was no way I was going to hit the antelope at 400, 450 yards. So, but still, I mean, just it was a good experience for me just to kind of see how everything was going to happen. My first time ever stalking an animal, that aspect of it was awesome.
I was very proud of Ashley because she knew that she didn't feel comfortable taking that shot, and we had talked about this before. If you don't feel comfortable taking a shot, don't take it. It's better to get someplace where you do feel comfortable and you know you can make a good shot instead of just taking a shot that you really don't know where the bullet's gonna go.
Ended up finding a couple more, stalked on them, ended up spooking them, or, you know, they got spooked by whatever and kind of ran out of there. So ended up coming around this corner and, you know, saw kind of a lone antelope, and, you know, the guide Rob was kind of looking at it, was like, you know, yeah, it looks like a good antelope, and ended up getting a better view on it. And he's like, oh, actually, you know, this is a good looking antelope.
That antelope got up and walked away, and it did present the shot, but they got in the truck, and it wasn't very long, and they found another one.
He's down.
I mean, just that feeling of just watching an animal fall, and I mean, I can't even describe it. I'm shaking right now just thinking about, you know, being on the gun and just that experience. And, you know, as soon as it went down, you know, everyone is screaming and they're so happy, and I'm just like in awe of the fact that here I am in New Mexico hunting for the first time in my life, and I just took down an antelope.
Ashley did it. I know she is so happy. She is just excited for herself, and man, I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to see her.
This segment is brought to you by Barnes Precision Machine, USA made with unmatched performance. Throughout a lifetime of hunting, there will be many successes, but that first success is always the most memorable.
We're so excited that Ashley got hers, and all of a sudden I get a text, and Nick has found one for Anna. So several hours in, we finally spot the buck. It was really hard to sneak up on him. That's when I really learned that what it felt like to hunt. We were stalking the animal. This buck particularly had a lot of doe with him. We got as close as we could. Luckily, there was small hills, so we used that to our advantage. At one point, we had to bear crawl to get as close as we could. I only had the concealment of a small rock. So we were bear crawling, and I think we're about 140 yards away. I get my rifle up. At that point, I thought this is gonna be really rewarding if I can get a shot on this buck, because one, it still was a nice buck, and two, it was a challenge to get where I was. So as soon as he turned broadside, I took my shot, and we got him. Walking up to the buck was unreal. That was my first big game kill. Well, honestly, when I walked up to him, I wanted to make sure that he was completely lifeless. I remember asking Nick, and are we sure it's good? I wanted to pet it, but I wasn't sure if it would snap at me or anything. But it was unreal. Well, I am so excited that these girls are actually getting this done, and they're feeling success, and this is turning out to be a great experience for each of the women. Nick has found one for Kia.
So I'm Sharon Duran, aka Kia. A lot of people call me Kia here on the ranch. I was born and raised here in Raton, New Mexico, and I'm a New Mexico State Police officer. My expectation of hunting was I've worked with these animals on the side of the road as a state police officer. Being able to go out and actually stalk them and kill one myself would be a really cool experience. So Nick was our guide, and this guy, he wanted us to both have like the best antelope that the whole entire world had seen. It was crazy because me and Anna would look at each other and we'd start laughing because he's like, no, 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 there's a better one out there, there's a better one. We're gonna keep looking, and me and Anna are just like, okay, let's go, you know? We went back to the same area because Anna went out, he got a buck, but it wasn't that buck that we were stalking all day long, and Nick really wanted to get that buck, and I was so for it. So we went out to around the same area, we're glassing up, and we see a couple of nice bucks, and then we go to a ridge line, and there's the buck, and he's like, oh my God, there he is, and I'm like, there's no way. He's like, no, that's him, and I'm like, all right, so I put a round in the chamber, and we sneak up, and we get set up, and my heart is just racing at that time. I go ahead and I take my shot, and I hear it hit, and I kind of see him jump, but he doesn't go down. Marathon, you know, and so I'm sitting there like, oh man, this is really going down. So I try to set up, and at that time, what Nick calls his buck fever is going on, and I'm shaking like a leaf. I can't even get a good sight picture on him. And so I think I have a good hold on him, and I take a shot. And hit him right above the shoulder, and it goes through and through, and he drops. We walked up on him, and I kind of looked at him, and I was like, wow, this really happened. I grabbed his horns right away and picked up his head, and Nick's like, man, that's a real nice buck, you know, and even Anna's like, that's a damn good buck. So, you know, I'm kind of just moving the head around like it's still all in awe, you know, my first hunt, and it was a success, so it's good times.
Nick is texting me, and he's telling me just how exciting and how Kia is shaking, and man, I know when someone gets to witness that and they're letting me know that how exciting she is, it's worth everything to me to just get these women and let them experience this and just feel that exhilaration inside. It's amazing. I'm eager to see who's next.
How many years has Stephanie taken women on her annual antelope hunt to New Mexico? A, 6 years, B, 3 years, C, 2 years, D, 4 years. This segment is brought to you by Wise Eye Smart Feeders. Feed the guest, zap the pest, shut out the rest. How many years has Stephanie taken women on her annual antelope hunt to New Mexico? A, 6 years, B, 3 years, C, 2 years, D, 4 years. Stephanie is passionate about giving back to those who serve our country. Since 2014, she has taken service women to New Mexico for an all-girls antelope hunt. There are no words nor actions that adequately say thank you to these women. However, knowing that we were able to make them smile for a short time is worth everything to us.
I'm out with Brianna, and we just found the one that she's gonna go after.
This guy's a stud, and a stud, big buck, small buck. I just wanted to have the experience of killing an antelope. I mean, it sounds terrible. I guess to me it sounds terrible. I do love animals. The idea of killing one was put a little bit of guilt in me. But I was so excited, and being on this trip, I've learned about the conservation of it, and I know the meat feeds people, so I have a much better appreciation for it.
So Brianna's antelope had laid down, and he's facing away from us, so I knew if we didn't make a lot of noise, we could use the cover from these trees and kind of sneak behind and get a close enough shot she could take it. And she nailed it. I mean, right when he stood up, she just took that shot, and she was so proud of herself, and oh my God, I think I was more excited than she was.
With so much excitement that I would do it again in a heartbeat. And touching the horns, just everything was just such an experience.
Brianna's never been on a hunt before, never been around hunting, didn't even really ever even think about it. But when she was afforded this opportunity, she was like excited and, you know, always wanted to try it. And in that moment, when she was set up on the sticks and perform and do what she needed to do, man, it's awesome to see these ladies, you know, in their element and see them work and get through something that they've never done before. When we dropped Brianna's antelope off at the freezer, I had seen Ashley's antelope there, so I knew they were headed out after Angie's.
We were not even out there 30 minutes when we spotted about a herd of 5, and we were like, it's go time.
Angie has a little bit of hunting experience. She hunts with her husband. They've shot some turkey, so I know she's gonna go great. I have full confidence.
Kind of set up, waited for my buck to get broadside, and I was able to take him on the shoulder shot.
I can't even put it into words what it means to me for women to get to go do this. To see each of their personality and see them do something they didn't think they could do and enjoy it, I don't know, it's the best feeling in the world.
Closed captioning by Vault Aviation, a different kind of whitetail.
I met her, I remember arriving at the airport and I went in for a handshake and she went in for the hug and I just knew this was gonna be great.
That's gonna make a good blooper.